You're listening to another episode of Last Night's Coffee with Chuck and Jon.
Greetings, Earthlings and locally hated dump truck drivers.
All right.
That sounds
like
appropriate.
Yeah, that's
Being
fair
that they're
enough.
all at home today because it's raining. They ain't doing nothing. They
They
can't
work
run
through
over
the rain,
anybody.
don't they? They don't work in the rain?
What are you going? How you gonna get the dirt out of the truck?
I don't know.
It's gonna get wet and it's gonna stick.
I figured they worked in the rain.
No, they don't
Oh,
work in the
okay.
rain. Concrete drivers don't work in the rain.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it makes sense.
Tile people, they can work in the rain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Well, like crush and run people, they could work, right?
Mm.
Like if you got something big enough, you could probably work.
If it's an emergency, probably.
Like all that crushed granite or whatever, you know?
Yeah, it is granite. Yes.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
our most common rock in the state of Georgia.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yes.
Fascinating. I know it's everywhere. I mean, Stone Mountain is. Don't we have the remnants of Stone Mountain like almost all the way to where we live?
Yeah. If it, I've always heard if it's granite and it's in this area, it's part of that same vein.
That's so crazy.
It just popped up over there.
Because how far is Stone Mountain from us as the bird flies? Maybe 30 miles? 40 miles? Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds about right. Good night, man. That's a big old hunk of granite, ain't it?
Yeah, it is. You could make a lot of driveways out of that. What if we decided, they used to mine it.
Yeah.
If you take the train ride, they show you where they mined it and took some granite out, I think, for maybe the Capitol.
Yeah.
And maybe the Washington Monument.
Yep. I think so.
And
And
imagine if
countless
we did,
other structures when the people first settled the area. There's no telling.
and they didn't even put a dent in it. Like they probably mined it for years and they didn't even put a dent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Imagine if granite was like oil, if you will, and everybody was trying to get it, and everybody like, we gotta stop mining that mountain. We're gonna run out. It's like we've been mining it for 150 years and we hadn't even used half of it yet.
Yeah.
We're eventually gonna run out.
Well, I think granite basically was like oil for moms, for wives, because they all wanted granite countertops for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a period of time that may as well have been oil for them. It was just as desirable to them as any gasoline. Like everybody wanted granite countertops. Now, I'm not saying I don't think Stone Mountain's proper granite for that. I'm just saying everybody wanted it.
Appreciate the granite out of Stone Mountain?
I would. I'd love some locally harvested granite.
If you go to Stone Mountain and you're walking on the trail up the mountain and you pick up a little piece of gravel.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a piece of Stone Mountain, right?
More than likely. I mean, chances are they shipped in crush and run.
No, I'm talking about you get on up the trail. You're about halfway up. They had and you pick you up a little rock. So you in turn have a piece of Stone Mountain?
I would say so.
You could go to jail for that.
Really? It's protected like that?
I don't know. You should.
Have you ever ridden the skybox up there?
Yeah, I love it.
Really? You like the swaying, like the back and forth and the weirdness of it?
I like feeling like I'm going to die, but I'm not. That sensation never. If I know it's something that's controlled like that, it's like whatever.
Dude, I love that perspective. You're the one that taught me that about roller coasters. Like the reason why you love roller coasters is you feel like you're going to die.
Yeah.
But you're not. Like they've designed it to where you're not, but you feel like you're gonna. You're not supposed to be doing those things. You should die.
They got that one youth, and they've drawn the plans for that one that you can die on if you so choose to.
Excuse me?
They've got a roller coaster design that you can die on, and it basically the G-forces kill you as the loops get tinier.
So it's just design. No one has the balls to build it.
I don't think anybody's built it yet.
I mean, why would you? That's I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, there is free solo climbing. People commit death by cop all the time. I'd rather, if instead of people like antagonizing a police officer to get shot and killed, I would rather them just take a ride on the roller coaster.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what they're saying.
Yeah, that's interesting. What a way to go out, man.
We have breaking news.
Oh, go ahead.
The Daniel Penny
Mm-hmm.
that took out the guy on the subway in New York,
Yep.
not guilty.
Not guilty. Wow.
Good for him.
Completely relieved of charges, huh? He
Says
was
not
he was trying to protect people, man. Here's this the scary fact is there are evil people out there. And
Yeah.
evil people will do harm to others. And
Also,
this man was just trying to protect others, in my opinion.
right. He was doing what he was trained to do. He was a Marine.
Yeah,
And he saw the threat and he handled the threat.
for sure. For sure.
Death would have not been his ultimate thing, but they said the guy was so freaking like nasty and grubby and all that the paramedics wouldn't help him because
Really?
when you get hepatitis.
Ooh. And this dude choked him out.
Yeah. This is like according to Dan Holloway.
Dang, dude, that's a pretty nasty guy. So he's willing to go to any length. Let's just put it that way. When you've got a guy who's looking like that, you can figure he's got nothing to live for.
That's
right?
That's right.
That's the unfortunate side of things. And down here in suburbia, we don't get to see that very often.
Nope.
We're not exposed to that very often.
I mean, we got the crazies, but we just, they don't have a venue like that.
Yeah, not like the subway, right?
What'd you do this weekend? Anything good?
Well, my wife went to a baby shower, so shout out to George and Dorothy. There was a baby shower for her cousin Dorothy. They've got a little baby girl on the way. So
have I met Dorothy?
You may have. You may have. She's recently married, like within the last few years. They had a baby shortly after. Like they got pregnant. I don't know, maybe 6 months out. I can't remember, but
okay.
I think you may have met them. Dorothy and George are awesome, man. They're really good people. Love them to death. So shout out to them. Besides that, just watch the SEC championship, which we'll get to that in the football wrap up. So yeah, that was my weekend. Sunday was all church, man. Church in the morning, church at night. Church.
Ain't that a song? Praise you in the morning.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's one of them old songs.
Man, I'm excited to hear about your weekend, dude. You did some exciting stuff, so let's hear about it, man.
Dude, Friday, I had to make these tables. Charlie's going to Indianapolis this week. And I get up to the shop thinking I'm going to do one thing, and I'm like, what are these? Dad's like, those are those tables Charlie told you about. I'm like, no, he didn't.
Yeah.
So I had to knock that out.
Which those are super cool. I'm going to put the pictures up that you sent to me because the way they look with the setup is freaking awesome.
Yeah. And then he called me a while ago. He's like, hey, can we go? He's got his buddy Broughton is up. And he's like, Emma wants to know if we want to go to lunch. I'm like, okay. Y'all go to lunch with Emma.
Yeah.
He's like, Broughton's not riding with me. He can't ride with me yet. I said, I know that. Why don't y'all just ride with Emma and use her gas? He's like, oh, okay. So now you got 3 race car drivers riding in a car together. Good
grief. And none of them are old enough to like drive. Like only one of them is old enough to drive both of them. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, only one of them is old enough to drive one of them. Charlie just got his license, and the other one, I don't think he's turned 16 yet. I think he's like right at that.
Good night, man. What a group that is. Holy smokes. So you built those tables for him on Friday. They look awesome in their booth setup for the Synergy and Speed U and all that.
RIP. PRI show.
Yeah,
in Indianapolis. But the big thing that you want to hear about,
that's right,
is going to Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
where the
You went
players
to a
play.
show.
So I ran one red light.
What?
I ran
You
a
gonna
red
get a
light and
ticket?
got,
You gonna get a ticket?
I don't know. I got a horn blown at me.
Oh man. If they had the cameras up there, dude, they got a lot of cameras in the downtown now.
They might have. I might be getting a coupon.
Yeah.
But I missed. I like didn't even see it, dude.
It
It's so
happens.
crazy driving up there. I think next time I'm taking Marta. I want to
Uber
go
Black,
back to,
man. Uber
huh,
Black that thing, dude.
dude. I was thinking about it, but I don't know. Anyway,
Can
so
you
we go
imagine
to
how cool it would be to get picked up in a town car with like, I mean, just decked out. You know what I
Jay
mean?
Z.
Yeah.
Well,
Just
not Jay Z. Jay Z's not cool anymore.
McConaughey style. Because
McConaughey.
he's on the Lincoln.
That would be a big Lincoln, the Navigator or something like that.
Yeah, dude.
So we go up there and we get a parking place. There's construction going on in Atlanta again.
Of course.
I don't, the state bird is a crane. So we get up there. We go to the melting pot. Have you ever been to the melting pot?
I've not. I've heard about it, but I've never been.
I would suggest you go one time.
Okay. It's worth it.
It's worth it one time. I don't know. We talked about it. Like if we went back, it'd be just for dessert.
Oh, okay. So it's like really hitting on the dessert.
The dessert and the appetizer. Like you could go in there and get you a charcuterie board,
Mm-hmm.
and then dip that into the cheese that they make on the table.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like the middle section,
I got you.
I mean,
Left a
my
little to be
compost.
desired.
Well, I mean, you're taking really good looking cuts of meat and basically boiling it
I see. Are
in
you
a
cooking
soup
it in
stock.
cheese?
Huh?
Are you like cooking it in cheese? What are you doing?
No, you're cooking it. So okay, there's stages.
Okay.
The first stage is they bring you a bread tray and some cheese, bread and fruit tray, and make some cheese right there on your table, melt it right there on your table.
Okay. That's pretty sweet.
So you dump your cheese in that,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really good.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you dump your bread and, dink, and then eat it. And it's like, golly. And you're sitting there looking at that cheese when you're making it. You're like, there's no way I'm going to eat all this cheese. You eat all the cheese.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
There's like, you're sitting there, when you get to the last two pieces of bread, you're like, bottom of the bowl.
Yeah.
And they bring your salad. They set up Mary Beth, it was her birthday, so she got roses and all this stuff.
That's awesome, man. Did you make all these reservations for her?
She actually made reservations.
Oh, okay.
And told them it was her birthday
Nice.
before I had a chance to.
Well, rightfully so. They need to know those things.
She's like, I made reservations at the melting pot. I was like, okay.
Well, a lot of times they'll ask you, like, is there a special occasion
Yeah.
going on? And so you don't even have to, like, bring it up. You don't have to feel awkward about it.
Yeah. So we did all that, and then I got the Pacific Rim tour or whatever. So I had like duck and tuna.
Ooh.
And the tuna would have been better. So you can get different ways to cook it. Like you can get a cast iron pan and sear it in that. And I think the tuna was a whole lot better done like that.
For sure. Seared tuna is amazing. But you're telling me you wound up boiling it?
Basically.
Why would you do that?
Because that's how you cook it.
It seems like poor people stuff.
It does.
I mean, I love boiled, like, dude, I love throwing a whole chicken into a pot of water, you know what I mean? And making my own chicken stock and doing all that. Like, no problem. That's fine. It's just it seems like poor people stuff.
Boy, take this nice piece of ribeye.
So you're boiling steak? Were you boiling duck? You're boiling tuna? What all did you boil?
Duck, tuna, pork. Some shrimp. The shrimp was excellent.
Okay. I can see boiling shrimp. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But okay.
Mary Beth had the steak platter.
Ooh. So
we got
what was for dessert, man?
okay. So dessert, you pick your
Tell me about
chocolate.
this.
You pick
What
your
is it?
chocolate.
Pick your
You pick
chocolate.
you pick
Ooh,
your chocolate. So we got
ooh,
the s'mores chocolate.
ooh.
So they come out there and they start melting this chocolate, and then they light it on fire. Here, I'll send you the video so you can post it for the people
That
because
sounds so.
the people want to see it.
Yeah. I can't wait
So,
for this, man.
boom, boom, boom. All right, it's only a 2-second video, so it won't take long.
Perfect. Very excited for this. All right, pulling it up here. I'm gonna watch it. Wait, what's happening?
What happened?
Oh, so it's just a 2-second video. Yeah, so it's just
Yeah,
I see the flame in the background. What's going on there? That's the chocolate?
that's the chocolate on fire.
Okay. Wow.
So they do that, and then you see that plate right there.
Yeah,
So
you got
you got
all the
like
toppings you could possibly
you got
want.
shortcake, you got brownie, you got
Is
a
that Rice
Belgian
Krispie treat?
waffle. Yes,
Oh my
the Bel
gosh.
the Belgian waffle
Yeah.
in that chocolate was the absolute best thing in the world.
Dude, this sounds amazing.
So, oh, I had an old fashioned.
Oh yeah? How was it?
Yeah, they make a real good old fashioned there.
Okay. So
So
shout out to the bar.
yeah, and after that we proceeded to go to the Fox Theater.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Now
sir.
I've
Tell me
never.
about the Fox, dude.
Okay, I've got a lot of observations.
Mm-hmm.
The Fox Theater itself is freaking amazing.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like okay, so before that, the only thing I'd been too close to that was like the Tabernacle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the Tabernacle is the Fox's psychedelic cousin. That's
Yeah,
stoned all
for
the time.
sure. For sure.
Okay. The Fox is elegant.
Mm-hmm.
You could feel that it might be a little haunted. There's a lot of steep stairs.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, to hear Freebird in here
Yeah.
would have been amazing.
I can only imagine, man. That it's such a historic venue, dude. I went there for my high school prom, so I didn't really appreciate it at the time,
Yeah.
like you should,
Where
because I
did
was
y'all
in high
prom
school.
at? Like a ballroom or something?
Yeah, I think there was a ballroom there.
Okay.
It
I
was
think
it
Henry
was
County did that.
pretty nice, man. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty nice. But yeah,
But
there's so much history. There's so much that has happened there. I can only imagine hearing some of those big acts that came through back in the day, dude.
dude, to see the brothers play there would have been awesome. Zach Brown's played there.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be it. There's not a bad seat.
No.
You can see everything. Especially if you set up high, you're looking down on
Mm-hmm.
them. So here's the weird thing I noticed. The seats on the left side of the stage are all odd numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So I got two seats together. I got 31 and 29.
Oh, weird.
But I'm looking at my tickets. I'm like, oh man, I screwed up. But no.
Right.
But here's what's even weirder. Like I was 29, Mary Beth was 31, and the seat beside her was 35.
They just missed it. They just missed 33, man. Just
It's
missed
just
it.
like, what are y'all doing? I mean, I'm sure there's some kind of way that at some time in history that it made
Yeah.
sense, but evidently all the Fox theaters, because there's more than one Fox theater
Yes, I've
across the
been to
country.
the one in Detroit as well.
Oh, really? Nice. Is
Yeah.
it cool like the one in Atlanta?
I didn't get to go inside. It was closed at the time.
But it's got the
But it
big
was,
marquee.
yeah, it looked exactly the same pretty much from the outside.
Okay. Well, so it's something that all the Fox theaters do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
But
super
anyway,
cool, man.
sitting there waiting for it to start, and then the place erupts. I'm like, am I missing something on stage? You know, I got my phone put up because I'm like, I'm trying to just take it in.
Sure.
And it was the Bulldogs winning, and the stage lights turned. I know the stage lights turned red after that.
Yes, sir. It was a big deal, man. That was a big deal.
So go Dogs.
Go Dogs, dude. Go Dogs.
So we were at the. I'm gonna just throw this up there in front of the camera so the people can see it. That's what we went to.
It was the night before Christmas. Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah. Circus du Soleil. They started out with their strap dance, and look, dude, they had this woman. She was suspended by her hair.
Oh,
dancing.
Ooh. Seems like a fetish nowadays, huh?
Well, it could be, but I don't understand it.
Like how she could do that?
Yeah, like it's got to be rough on the neck. It's got to be rough on the scalp. Like, is that something you work up to?
Yeah, for sure. She's been training that since she was like 7 years old, man. She's been like starting the process of hanging by her hair since she was really young. You have to build up to that tolerance. Like, she probably has superhuman hair.
Like, she's from a family of hair dancers, suspended hair dancers.
Oh, man. You know how they say hair is like dead or whatever? Hers is totally living.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Hers is like alive and strong.
You know, it's the same chemical makeup as a toenail.
That's weird. So I got toenails on my upper lip right now, growing into my nose and all that.
Basically, a toenail is a hair.
Wow.
Or a fingernail,
really
or any nail. But so look, they had these things. If you look right here,
Yeah. Yep.
not that, this.
Oh, okay.
Right there.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know what you call it.
Okay.
But it looks from the stage, you know, setting out on the stage, it don't look like that top. It looks like a ball. And they're just slinging it everywhere and doing all this stuff. And it's like, man,
what is it?
I don't know. It's a rope thing they do.
So, like, how on a scale of 1 to 10, how entertaining was it to see all this craziness happen on stage?
Entertaining wise, it was an 11.
Really?
Okay, so you think you're going to like a dance, like it's going to be a musical?
Yeah, like maybe some ribbon dancing and stuff.
You know, no, dude, this is a freaking stunt show.
Yeah.
All right, so there's this woman that they get this bicycle.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and she's doing all this stuff on the bicycle. When she does the iron cross, you know, where you stand on handlebars.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, do you know how hard that is to do?
Insanely difficult, yeah.
You know, so you got that going on. You got the people dancing on the ropes.
Yeah.
You know, just the core that takes, the feats of strength.
Mm-hmm.
I would go back tomorrow and watch it.
Wow. Was it worth the money?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Highly recommend.
But see, I like when we go to Six Flags, I like the shows anyway.
Right.
As I've gotten older, I tend to like the shows.
Yeah.
So, it was interesting. I would go back. I don't know if I go back to the Melting Pot. I'm trying to find a concert to go to at the Fox this summer.
Good luck, man. Good luck.
Just because I want to go. They've got the Experience Jimmy, a Jimi Hendrix tribute show.
Oh, no way.
Coming. And they've
That would
also
be a
got
lot of fun.
Beatles tribute show coming. And I'm like,
tribute shows, they're fun, but they're not the same.
No, they're
right?
not.
Like, it wouldn't be like to see an actual act play there.
Well, Skinner's been a tribute show for the last 25 years.
Yeah, a lot of them bands have. The only one that hasn't is like what Rolling Stones, right? And Aerosmith, when they can actually play.
I think Dead and Company would be cool to see there.
Now that would be worth seeing.
I'm not the biggest Dead fan. I mean, I know their stuff, but I think it'd be a cool show to see.
Yeah, that probably would be worth seeing.
But yeah, I mean, 10 out of 10, I'd go back.
3 out of 5 stars wouldn't change a thing.
3 out of 5 stars wouldn't change a thing.
Uh,
It
Shout
was
out to
neat because it was a different crowd than what I'm used to hanging around.
sure.
When I go to concerts and stuff, it was more
Hmm.
like that Peachtree City crowd
Yeah,
and up. You know, the Peachtree City crowd was the low life.
yeah, yeah. That's
So
pretty cool though, man. I mean, I went. I know I went to a Cirque du Soleil when I was a lot younger. I was probably like 19,
yeah.
18, maybe. I went up. It was when the bodies exhibit was at the High Museum, so I got to
Oh,
see all those Chinese bodies like sliced open, and you can examine like actual dead bodies and the tendons and the skeletons and the whole 9 yards.
did it smell?
No, they got them all like suspended in epoxy and stuff like that, and
Oh,
like most of them are, yeah, you can't like get up to them, but
I
they're
wonder where
most
that
of them are like
exhibit's
in
at
glass
now.
cases. Huh?
Wonder where that exhibit's at now.
Oh, it's up everywhere. I'm pretty sure it was in New York recently.
Oh, okay, so it's still going around. It's not just like in some warehouse.
No. They still do it everywhere,
Okay.
man, because it even when I went to go see it, they like people act like it's a controversy that they were Chinese prisoners. No, man, they widely advertised the fact that they were like Chinese no-name prisoners. People didn't even know like the prison didn't even know these people's names when they died. You know what I
Really?
mean? So yeah, oh yeah, it's a really sick exhibit, man. But I went and checked that out at the High Museum one time, and then I got to go see the Cirque du Soleil performance, and it was like both experiencing both of those things in one day was like one of the trippiest experiences of my life, even at 18.
Oh, they got it at Luxor right now.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's a
They
good
do
place
them,
for it.
yeah, they do them at really, I mean, really
That's real
fancy
body
places too.
parts.
Yes, and they'll have people like doing acts, like swinging a golf club or like
Riding a
picking up,
bicycle.
yeah, all kinds of stuff, man. It's
That's so
crazy. Have
wrong.
Have you ever heard of the Bodies exhibit?
Yeah, but I've never looked into it. Oh, they
Oh,
got a
it's
bundle
wild.
package.
Oh man.
Do you want to care to guess what? Now, look, this is me and you
Uh,
both will be like, oh, this is the best package. The bodies exposition, the bodies thing,
mhm, mhm.
and Blue Man Group.
That would be amazing. How much is the package?
112.
Ooh, I'd do it for 112.
Yeah, 112 to
Totally.
see Blue Man and
Oh
the
man,
bodies.
can you imagine, dude? That would be a night.
D- You'd have to go see Blue Man after just to clear your head.
Yeah. That now that I'm thinking about it, that may have been what we did. We may have paid for like a package deal because I feel like we didn't go far for the Cirque du Soleil when we traveled. I can't remember where it was at that time. It
It
was so
used to
long ago.
be at Atlantic Station.
Okay, which is right up on the north side near the High
Yeah,
Museum. That would make sense. That would make a lot of sense.
yeah. It
Okay.
was. It's in a tent. It was in a tent there, and it was. But
Oh,
it was the
right
full
on.
production. Because Mary Beth wanted
Yeah.
to go there, but we didn't have any money back then, so
Right.
I
Right.
couldn't take her.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool. Made it home. Got to watch. Got to watch some of the snowball derby yesterday. That was cool.
Yo. Who was
Bubba,
the winner?
uh, Honeycutt, some guy named Honeycutt.
Okay. Okay.
He
How did
was
Bubba
not
do?
the dump. Bubba made it up to fourth, and then I think dropped back to 14th.
Okay.
He had a bad restart
Mm,
there at the end, and that just ended his day. Um,
sounds like it.
but let's see, Snowball Derby 2024 winner is um, yeah, Caden Honeycutt, and he threw up before he
He
got out of his
threw up.
car. Yeah, so he's sitting there doing all the victory lane interviews
Yeah.
with throw up down his racing suit.
Hmm.
I'm like, somebody get that dude a towel.
Yeah.
They should have
That's
a
awesome.
towel guy in victory lane just for such, here's your wet towel.
Why did he throw up?
Because he was so freaking excited because it's the biggest race he's ever won.
Oh my gosh! Just from nerves and excitement, he's puking.
Yeah, it's the biggest. It's the biggest thing ever for him. It
That's
paid.
awesome.
How much did it pay? Did it pay $50,000 to win? You know, he got the hoist the Tom Dawson Trophy. You take somebody like that. It's weird. You got guys like Bubba and some of his contemporaries that's been trying for years to win this singular race, and then you got these guys that show up and win it. You know, it's just like boom.
Yeah, that's really cool, man.
This guy was kind of at the front all day. I think he led some laps, but I don't know, man. He just, when it counted, he was on it.
Heck yeah, dude. Shout out Honeycutt.
So, it's a big deal.
Yeah, man.
So, you had that. You had some the dirt race at the Dome, which is a pretty cool experience to watch on TV. I think it's probably better to watch on TV than be there live.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have to deal with a bunch of about 30,000 very drunk dirt fans in a confined space.
That's obscene.
And
that's a little obscene.
It's like all the fence people.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Exactly.
That is a one spot. You know, just put all the fence people. But we're going to put you in a building. Okay, we got this.
Yeah. Good luck keeping those people contained like that, man.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Had that
but we got to let's take a quick ad break before we jump into the football wrap up and everything, and we start talking about UGA's weekend.
Yeah, I gotta go clip. My nose is stopping up on me. So.
Thanks for sticking with us through this ad break, guys. I'm here to tell you about one of our sponsors, Eileen Ayers with Bush Realty. You can check her out at movingcoweta.com for all of your real estate needs in the Metro Atlanta area. That's movingcoweta.com. Eileen Ayers with Bush Realty. Now back to the show.
Who's that coming down the track?
Ooh.
Who's that coming down the track, John? What'd they do?
I don't know that freaking cheer or whatever they say. I can't understand a word those people say, man.
Who's that coming? I don't know the rest of it myself.
Yeah, there you go. Boom, you're trying to call me out for it. You don't even know it. Come on.
Let's call the dogs. You want to call the dogs?
Yeah.
McAfee called the dogs. Did you see that?
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway. He called them, and he was right. We're not going to call them today because we're not that talented. And we don't know the words, so I guess we're not real Georgia Bulldog fans.
I guess not, man. That's pretty sad, isn't it?
Anyway, Georgia.
We know that.
They beat that little team from Texas.
That's right.
McConaughey said, that's for getting beat twice.
Horns down, man. They got to beat them twice in one season. That's hard to do, man. It's hard to beat a team twice like that.
And we're probably going to make it 3 times if you look at the bracket.
It's possible. It's possible.
So, Gunnar Stockton literally got his head knocked off during the game.
I'm so glad he did not have to play again after that hit. I know he wanted to. I know he looked fine. But look, dude, those thumps on the head like that, I'm so glad he didn't have to play. I'm so glad he didn't have to play anymore. Sun's out, guns out, man. I know it doesn't make sense, but sun's out, guns out, brother. Gunnar was playing.
Dude, they're talking like Beck is hurt.
Yep.
Possibly surgery.
Oh, so serious.
That's what I'm hearing.
Is it elbow, hand, shoulder? I just saw it was arm.
Tommy John? No, that's underwear, ain't it?
No, Tommy John is a surgery, mostly done on pitchers and stuff like that, but it's like an elbow surgery. Yeah, pretty sure.
I thought it was underwear.
Tommy Hilfiger?
Tommy John underwear.
Oh.
Yep. definitely underwear.
Tommy John surgery as well.
Yeah. So do they? I mean, how did that come about?
Yeah. You'd have to ask the surgeon that came up with it. Usually they get to name them.
Oh,
So
okay.
Beck is
So
going to
I
have
come
to
up with surgery.
undergo. It sounded like Beck's going to have an operation.
Let's see. Here's the latest on the Carson Beck rumors.
Okay.
2 hours ago. This is from WSB TV, so it is a very reliable source.
Yep.
Sources: Georgia QB Carson Beck likely out for the Sugar Bowl with elbow injury.
Okay. So what does that mean?
Didn't we win a national championship with a backup quarterback one time?
Did we?
Did we? Wasn't
No. Alabama did that twice.
Oh,
They
crap.
won with Tua. Remember, they did it
thought-
twice to us.
I thought we had to rely heavily on our backup that first national championship.
No, man, didn't Stetson win them both for us?
Maybe during the championship game itself, but I think to get there we had to rely on them.
Oh, maybe that's
That's what I'm
possible.
talking about.
That's possible. But it was Alabama who brought in Tua at the half and whooped Georgia, and then a couple of years
He got
later
it
they
twice
brought
this
in
year.
frickin' Jalen Hurts at the half in place of Tua and whooped up on us again. So yeah.
Let's see.
It was nice
elbow
for Georgia
injury.
to have that happen for them, man. Gunner was playing he was playing lights out, dude.
He's gonna be a good. He's gonna be a good, good quarterback here.
It was so much fun to watch.
He should have had some more playing time this year, but hey, you know,
Yep.
Bobo knows best.
I guess. So we got the winner of Ohio State and Texas will go
Yes.
on to play Oregon.
Yes.
Who do you see winning that game and playing Oregon?
Tennessee beats Ohio State. Oregon beats Tennessee.
Okay.
Okay. Do we
Okay.
want to fill out
I
our
agree.
brackets? Do we want to fill out our bracket now and see how close we get?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Let's get a piece of paper.
All right.
All right. You got a piece of paper?
Yes. I don't have a
All
pen.
right. I do that. I make paper noises loud like that on purpose for Rush
Yeah.
Limbaugh.
I'm just going to pull up my show notes and mark it there. All right.
Let's see. Clemson versus Texas. Texas. Then they will go to play Arizona State, and they will be Texas.
So wait a second. You're saying Clemson versus Texas. Texas will win?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
I'm disagreeing with you on Ohio State. I think Ohio State will win against Tennessee.
All right. I'm saying 10. I'll go play Oregon.
Let's just make it through the first round there. So yeah, Ohio State and
We're not
Tennessee.
going to go all the way down.
Let's just go through the first round first.
Okay.
Who do you see? Yeah, we'll go through the whole thing. But who do you see win? Penn State versus whatever that is.
Penn State, SMU. It'll be
Yeah,
Penn State.
SMU. That's right. Okay, I agree. Penn State.
All right. Indiana.
Notre Dame, Indiana.
Who's playing better right now?
Yeah, it kind of depends on the hot team, right?
Yeah. I think it's going to be Notre Dame just because that's going to be the fix. All right.
I agree.
Now, the next round, it'll be Texas versus Arizona in my bracket.
Yep.
All
And
right,
who
so
do
I
you
think
see winning that?
Texas.
No. It'll be. What about Tennessee versus Oregon?
We've already. Wait, hold on. I haven't got that far down my list yet.
Oh,
I'm looking at the bracket.
I don't know.
Okay,
we're
we'll go
looking
Tennessee versus
the
Oregon.
problem is we're looking at different brackets.
Okay,
got a
Tennessee
lot-
versus Oregon. It's
Got a
going
lot
to
of
be Oregon. Oregon is going to beat Tennessee.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Hands down.
That's your bracket. I forgot.
Yeah.
I
Arizona
looked for
versus
Ohio State to upset Oregon there.
Oh, you're saying Ohio State. Okay. Now, what about the winner that's going against Arizona State in the quarterfinals?
So we both have Texas going against Arizona State there.
Yeah.
And I think Texas will win again.
I do too. I think it's going to be Texas. All right. Now,
we both had Penn State moving on.
Yes.
Oh.
Against Boise.
Mm-hmm.
Penn State will probably beat Boise.
I agree. I'll go Penn State again.
And then Georgia will beat Notre Dame.
Yup.
All right. So that brings us into that would be Texas v. Oregon. Oregon wins.
Okay. I'm going to go. I have Ohio State versus Texas. I'm going to go Texas with the win.
Okay. Penn State versus Georgia. Georgia.
You going Georgia there? Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And so that puts
'cause
Oregon
we have
and
the
Georgia.
same.
In mine, it puts Oregon and Georgia in the national championship.
I've got Texas and Georgia playing each other a third time.
Okay. Has Oregon beat Georgia lately?
I think they opened the season against Oregon maybe last year or the year before.
Oregon.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
so
right.
this is one of Kirby's assistants went out there to coach Oregon.
I think so.
So this is a Saban situation.
Yeah.
Beat Kirby.
I agree.
Georgia win it all.
Georgia wins it all, man. Georgia wins it all. You heard it here first.
All right, so Georgia wins another natty. I think
Georgia
that's
wins
what's going to happen.
another natty. Yeah.
I didn't believe it halfway through the season. I believe it now.
I love the way Gunner's playing. If they can play with that kind of enthusiasm, that kind of tenacity, that kind of, just go get it, man. They were playing really hard. And if they can do that again, I see them taking the whole thing for sure.
Breaking news.
Again?
United Healthcare CEO shooting latest. Man being held for questioning in Pennsylvania, sources say.
In Pennsylvania. Okay.
This has come from ABC News.
Interesting. That doesn't necessarily mean it's the shooter.
Yeah, it's amazing. We're after the shooter, and we kind of know where he's at, but we still don't know who's on Epstein's list.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, right? Pretty wild. You know what else is wild, though, is the richest baseball contract in history was signed.
How much is that?
$765 million.
And who is that to?
Juan Soto, he signed with the New York Mets last night. That is all guaranteed, $765 million. Every bit of it guaranteed. It included a $75 million signing bonus. He has options to make upwards of $800 million total over the course of 15 years.
Is that Han Solo's kid? Is it Hope Solo's brother?
It's Juan Soto.
Oh, Soto.
Yes.
No relation.
No relation.
All right. Well, that's a lot of money to play a kid's game.
15 years in New York, man. It's going to be rough living for that guy. I tell you what.
Golly. How much taxes is that?
I don't want to know, man. I don't want to know.
Right.
I know LA was after him. There was a lot of teams after this guy, but wound up on the Mets.
Do you think he's an Apple guy or an Android guy?
Whichever one has a better translator. I don't think his English is very good.
It's probably Apple.
Yeah, probably Apple then.
No, wait. You got Google Translate on Android. But either way.
That's true. Yeah.
the FBI has said that we don't need to text each other.
Yeah.
If one person is on an Android and one person is on an Apple, don't text them.
Yeah. Raising division even more in this country between Android and iPhone users.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it's the Android's fault. It's not Apple's fault. It's Android's fault.
Well, you know what's funny about this, Chuck? Did you read the article by any chance? Did you read about this, hear about
No,
it?
I don't read articles. I just read headlines.
All right, let me tell you a little bit about this.
Okay, tell me
This
about
is what's funny. Did you do the update recently, Chucker?
Yeah, I did.
Have you sent an Android a text message since doing that update, Chucker?
Unfortunately, yes.
Have you noticed that it now says RCS message?
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. It's no longer SMS messaging because that's what the Chinese were able to hack. So
SMS?
yes, they were able to hack SMS messages. Here's what makes that funny is the fact that the update was out, available, and done before anything was ever said to the American people.
Oh,
There's zero transparency. All of this took place at the beginning of the year. The Chinese wound up hacking it. I think they said wound up like in January or something like that. They were hacking it, and then in June corrections started to be made. Right?
Okay.
Something like that. And then now you have the new iPhone update, probably a new Android update, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
And so now you don't have those SMS messages.
Nice.
And that's when they decide to recommend not sending Android messages anymore. So it's just ridiculous, man. The whole thing is so stupid. It's so stupid.
Yeah, it is.
I can't believe they waited that long to tell us about it. I don't know if the Chinese went that long undetected. I don't know if they went like 6 months undetected or what, but it's really scary business to start thinking about, man.
Why is it scary? What are they going to... We're broke, dude.
It's not us. It's not us. What kind of government officials are sending information back and forth, not using secure lines? We all saw with Hillary Clinton, she had unsecure servers, all this stuff, sending emails on through unsecure servers and things like that. Like, what if politicians are doing that today and the Chinese are hacking it? What if military groups are doing that today and the Chinese are hacking it? Or even people in the know. What if they're like, hey, let's just keep an eye on Dan Holloway's SMS messages or Tim Kennedy's SMS messages, because they're getting live feedback from, boots on the ground wherever they happen to be on the ground.
True. That's
and
true.
So when you start thinking about that, it's like, ooh, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think somebody like Dan and those guys are probably using a secured.
I would think so. I'm sure.
They're pretty smart.
I'm sure. But we all slip up, right?
Yeah, we all slip up. So
we all slip up.
Well, okay, so there's nothing to worry about here.
Not anymore, because the corrections have been made, as far as I know. So I don't know why the FBI is warning us now, because the corrections have already been made. We are now sending RCS messages from iPhone to Android.
Well, this is jumping the gun a little bit because we still got one more thing to talk about, but you did bring the conspiracy, right?
Sure.
Because it's your week.
Okay.
Just thought I'd throw that out there right quick.
All
got
right.
some sad news from Louisiana.
Okay.
Phil Robertson,
Mm-hmm.
the duck commander, has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's.
That is some really sad news, man. I know there have been some talk about starting the show back up. Are they going to continue that production even though he's been diagnosed with Alzheimer's?
I imagine that he was not part of the new show rumors because it's slated to be more of the newer generation.
Okay, covering a lot of the kids, because those kids have grown up so much since then.
Yeah, everybody's got their own thing going on. I'm figuring that Willie and Jace will be more of that Phil and Uncle Si role in the new show.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of, because there's a lot of similarities between Jace and Si.
Sure. Yeah. You don't say. You don't say.
I think it'll be good.
It'll be fun to see back on the air, man. Is it A&E doing it again?
Yeah, A&E's doing it again, so it'll be good. But
okay.
But that's it's a shame for that Phil's the family's got to go through it. Phil's going. I guess what if you listen to Phil's message, he
Mhm.
wins either way.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The family's going. We're not going to have. We might not have Phil no more, but Phil's going to win in the end.
Yeah.
He's going to make it
Yeah,
where he's
that's true.
going.
That's true. That's true. Shout out
So,
Uncle Phil, man. He's always seemed like the guy you want to be your uncle. You know what I mean? He always seems like that's what I would want my uncle to be like. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
He's
yeah.
just the coolest guy.
He's a man. He's just. I got to see him one time before the dynasty.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was speaking at a wild game banquet. Him and
Oh.
Jace. Jace was freaking scary looking dude.
Did he have big old beard yet?
Yeah, they had the beards. They had on the freaking makeup. The face paint. When
Yeah.
they would do men's dinners or whatever, they would wear the full.
Oh, that's hilarious. That is
makeup and
hilarious.
everything. So yeah, it was pretty cool. But yeah, I think Phil's gonna be all right. Either way.
Mhm.
I listened to a little bit of the podcast last night where they announced it, and they were talking about he's got some blood issues going on too. So
Oh, shoot.
he's having his memory ain't what it was. He's only been duck hunting once this year,
Oh, wow.
and they said he didn't even pull the trigger.
Mm.
So
Mm.
yeah,
He's just enjoying the woods.
I think he was just enjoying seeing what he had done.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true too. That's true too. Well, dang, man. Prayers for that Robertson family, man. They've been awesome.
If you've ever been through a family member with Alzheimer's, it's tough to watch them go backwards.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So, what you got
And
for the conspiracy?
Well, I could go on a tangent here about how nicotine prevents Alzheimer's, but I'm not.
We're trying to prevent it ourselves. Well, Phil used a lot of nicotine, so I don't know if he's a good case study on that. Huh?
Did he really?
They still all of them boys dip.
Is there nicotine in it though? Is there nicotine in that?
Dip in like Copenhagen?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nicotine in that.
Oh, okay. I've never dipped. I've never been a big dipper. I mean, I've done it, but not any sort of regularity.
It turned me green, dude.
Dude, it's so gross. It's never been something I could stomach. It's
I have
so
friends
gross.
that choose, and I'm like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
What's in, dude?
Yeah, you're so new school, man. You're
Clean
so
energy.
new school.
If you will.
No, what are we gonna do for conspiracy today?
I don't know.
How about
eat?
Yeah. How about professional sports is rigged?
How about professional sports is rigged?
There's a lot of conspiracy. I mean, especially regarding the Kansas City Chiefs and their officials, and the lack of tackles from other teams on Patrick Mahomes. There's been a lot of wild conspiracies surrounding professional sports in general, specifically the NFL, but all professional sports. I sent you that video of the UFC fighter Bryce Mitchell this weekend, and he straight up says in there that all professional sports besides UFC are rigged. I like it. This guy was shooting from the hip, though. So I just wanted to get your opinion, man. It's always been a conspiracy that the fix is in, right?
Well, yeah.
Especially for certain teams, especially in certain sports. How do you feel about that? Do you think there is actual corruption when it comes to professional sports?
You mean like NASCAR letting Carl Edwards, when he was unsponsored in a truck, run a big motor? And then
Sure.
He was unsponsored. They were trying to get his sponsor, trying to find him a sponsorship.
Mm-hmm.
And when a local truck racer had a bad week, NASCAR didn't realize that the sponsorship and the truck owner was the same person. And they called on behalf of Carl Edwards who had a really good week that week, trying to get his sponsor on the car.
Ooh.
Then it comes to find out Jack Roush made NASCAR mad. So guess what? They happened to find the next week a big motor in that truck.
No.
Richard Petty won 200 races.
Mm-hmm.
Driving the Mike Curb car was when he won his 200th race.
Mm-hmm.
President Reagan was at that race.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Curb was one of his advisors.
Get out of here. Is it coincidence?
I mean, that's been one that's been a conspiracy for a long time, that it lined up that 200 wins at Daytona.
President Reagan in that car.
You know,
the odds are slim, man. The odds are super slim.
I can give you another one. So, Mr. Excitement, Jimmy Spencer, was talking about it. He used to say he used to be big on. Well, I guess that's who got the call this week.
Okay.
He would say that a lot in NASCAR. And they after he's retired, they asked him about it. You know, NASCAR being rigged or whatever. He said, "Look, let me tell you, NASCAR is about entertainment. That's all. All sports are about entertainment, really.
Absolutely, they are.
At the end of the day, that's why we watch it, to be entertained. Are you not entertained?" Now, he was fined one time, and it would have been, this is when he was up and coming on his own stuff, and he called Bill France. He's like, "Dude, this fine is going to put me out of business." He said, "You're not paying a fine. The fine is for the fans, just to think we did something. You're not paying a fine. You're racing next week."
Oh my gosh. All a matter of optics.
All a matter of optics. It's always been about optics. I think since probably after the Shoeless Joe Jackson stuff went down, I think as more money got into professional sports, then it started becoming rigged.
I can see that.
How often do you see, even when the Mets are having a crazy good year and the Yankees are having a crazy good year, they both make it to the World Series? They never make it because nobody wants a Subway Series.
It's rare. It happened, but it's rare.
You want a East Coast versus West Coast, or North versus South.
Sure.
You want America's team, the Braves, in there. You know,
preferably we do.
The Falcons.
Yeah, you don't want them winning a Super Bowl.
You don't want.
They're not going to get you anywhere.
What's Atlanta bring to the table? Nothing
for the NFL.
Nothing on the stage of things. You look at Dallas when they had their run, oil was up.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think?
I'm
not saying every game's rigged.
Yeah. It's hard, dude. It's hard because you look at some of those players and you're like, I know he's playing with everything he's got. You see it in their eyes, you know? But then every once in a while, dude, there's these moments where you're like, this is too much. Like, this is too much. Like the 28-3 collapse from the Falcons. Like, at some point, it's too much. Like, that's... At some point, it's just like, oh, Tom Brady just needed this. Like, they need to give Tom Brady this real quick.
Now look. Let's look at it like this. Matty Ice, since you bring up the Falcons and that big loss. Yeah. He had a big-time contract. He made more than Tom Brady did.
He did.
Was it hush money? You tell Tom Brady, hey, you're gonna have a long career. You're gonna make your money. He's a very talented guy.
Well, let me set the timeline straight. He didn't sign that humongous contract until actually after that meltdown because he won the MVP that year. That was in 2016. And so he signed his humongous contract after that. Now he was playing for a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. He was playing for a lot of money.
Right.
But is it hush money? Sure. I mean, they're paying you millions of dollars. You're telling me you're not going to keep your mouth shut?
Yeah, that's what I'm
They
saying.
will-
That's what
They'll snatch that paycheck away from you in a heartbeat, man.
Yeah.
The case is there. The case is there. What do you think, man? What's your rating? How many beans?
4.
4 beans? Dude, we got a lot of 4 beaners. I'm going to call 3 beans. I'll say 3 beans. I don't like it because there are so many athletes who I think really, really play the sports they're involved in. But there is still the chance, man. There's definitely the chance. I think it's more likely than not.
Yeah.
That most things in professional that things can be rigged. Maybe not even necessarily the playoffs, but once they get to like some Super Bowl or the championship, then the refs kind of get paid or the players kind of get paid or whatever it is.
Did you ever go to monster trucks at like the Georgia Dome or whatever?
I did not.
Gravedigger always wins.
That's true. That's true. Yeah,
And
is that
guess
on
what?
accident?
He happens to field most of the trucks.
Yeah. Yeah, very good point, man. Very good point. All right. Conspiracy wrapped up, dude. You got a meme for me this week?
Yeah. Hang on 1 second and I will get it sent to you.
Been a good show, Chucker. Been a good one.
Let's see here. Man, I've been collecting memes. I've been collecting memes all week, dude. And
Good.
I got
Memes
some
are
that
good.
I can send, and I got some that I can't, but I think we're just going to go here.
All right. Here it is. CEO Brian Thompson's acute lead poisoning was deemed a pre-existing condition. Claim denied. That is sick and twisted, and I like it. It is dark. Yeah, insurance is a scam, man. The whole insurance business is a scam. I'm not saying that Brian Thompson deserved to be shot and deserved to die. I'm just saying that insurance as a whole is crooked.
I think, yeah. I mean, most of your CEOs at that level are not good people.
Yeah.
They are all worried about the dollar, the bottom line. They're worshiping the dollar. Now, according to Rated Red on Instagram, that CEO had deployed an AI system to automatically deny people's benefits.
No way.
The algorithm had a 90% error rate.
What? Yo. If that's true, is that Reddit stuff right there?
That was from Rated Red.
Rated Red. Okay, so it might as well be Reddit.
Yeah.
If that's true, though, that's sickening.
Yeah.
That is sickening, man. Ugh.
It just goes to show that they're not worried. They're not worried. They're not worried about the product. They're not worried about the people. They're just worried about making their stocks look good.
Yeah.
And you know, and they say, well, CEO, they don't actually do that. Look, if a stock is underperforming, the CEO gets fired. If a stock is overperforming, the CEO gets a bonus and gets praised. So
That's
yes,
right.
at the end of the day, whatever that company does falls on the CEO, period.
Yep. Absolutely. I agree.
So if you're out there killing people with paperwork, then you're a murderer too.
Yep.
But
You
the
accept
problem is,
responsibility for all of that when you sign up for that job.
problem is there's no way to prosecute them. So then you get a guy that feels that way, and he goes and takes it in his own hands.
So sad, man. It's so sick.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a sad fact, dude. You are more than You're more than likely correct.
You know, I heard a saying one time. Communism doesn't work, and capitalism has no soul or no conscience.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, there's no good way to do it.
There isn't.
So
there isn't a perfect way to do it. That's for sure. There is no perfect way.
The Indians had a pretty good thing
Look,
going.
man, they did have a pretty good thing going. They did not have any homeless. They didn't have jails. They had remedies for most things.
Yeah.
I don't know. They had a pretty good thing going. But that's a different topic for a different day. Chucker, that's episode 174 in the books, brother.
Holy cow.
Yeah. Climate
It's
quick.
Christmas, y'all.
Christmas.
It's Christmas.
Can't
We
you
got our
see?
swag.
Can't you see? Chucker, thanks for a good show, man. We got to shout out the Eating Chambers. Make sure you check out Chef Drew on YouTube. He's got an awesome channel over there. We also need to shout out Da Vinci's Pizza in McDonough. Make sure you go check them out. They are sponsoring the number 2 car. Praise God. Thank you, Da Vinci's Pizza.
This afternoon.
Oh, hey. Any other shout outs this week, man? Pushing Like a Dump Truck podcast?
Pushing Like a Dump Truck. One day. It's out there.
One day. Yeah.
There's 1 or 2 shows. We've been working on we've been having this meetings on it.
Cool.
Trying to get it fine-tuned a little bit. So,
nothing wrong with that. Awesome, dude. It's been a good one. I appreciate it, Chucker. Let the night shifters know what time it is.
Don't go chasing waterfalls. Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to.